Welcome, everyone. How are you doing? You all look absolutely beautiful. Are we good this evening here at Ella Dorado? Okay. I understand some of you, if you're like me, might be having a little bit of buyer's remorse. Maybe you spent a little too much money supporting Ella. You know what I'm saying? I have like 12 bags in the back room there. I actually needed a green room, not for my stuff, but for the things that I just bought, doing my part. But I'm gonna ask you one more time, because I drove from Hollywood and really didn't get a whole lot of traffic, so you can't be salty about that. You've been having drinks, you've been listening to great music, you've been seeing all this beautiful furniture and hanging out with your friends. So when I say, how are we doing tonight? There it is. Much better. I was like, listen up, Kendall. I lived out here for a while. I know we can turn up. Okay, so I'm Kimmy B. I'm the co-host of the DJ Labs Morning Show with Kimmy B on 93.9 MIA, which is, of course, an iHeartMedia radio station. It's a pleasure to be back for my second year in a row. You can clap for that. There's only been 2 of these guys, and I've been at both of them, so I'm gonna say I did something right? Okay. Now, with that being said, it's obviously Women's Herstory Month. If you know the Capo family, then you know Ada Capo was obviously the driving force behind everything you see right now, and the reason and the inspiration for the family and the team actually putting together Ella Dorado, which is this wonderful event that we are here to celebrate and participate in. But obviously, it's not just about what you've seen, these fabulous vendors that came out, this incredible food, and this panel that you're gonna hear in just a few minutes, but they also wanted to pay it forward. And there's an organization here that when we say support Ella, that is exactly what they do every day, day in and day out, 24 hours a day. And in fact, they were supposed to be here, but they're supporting Ella and actually working right now. So on behalf of the El Dorado team, we would like to present a check to Lotus House. You can make a round of applause because they're an incredible organization. And I know that they sent us a little video, so we're gonna watch that and then we will get our panel started, okay? All right.
Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Varela and I'm the Community Outreach Director at the Lotus House. We are so incredibly grateful for this donation from El Dorado, helping us provide sanctuary and wraparound supportive services to over 520 women and children every single night. Donations like these just help us expand our village as we support the most vulnerable in our community, and we are truly so grateful and thankful for their support and for you taking the time to just learn a little bit more about us. Again, thank you so much. It really means the world to the women and children we shelter, and we hope you have a wonderful evening.
Again, another round of applause for Lotus House, everybody. If you haven't been or toured their campus, I highly recommend the work that they do. It is literally life-saving and life-changing. So the fact that El Dorado is able to help them out is incredible. Now, with that being said, are we ready for our incredible panel? Yes? I like you already, sir, right down in front with all the energy. Thank you. Take notes, people, take notes. Okay, so I'm going to introduce these incredible women. We're gonna start with a girl that I have followed, or a woman I have followed for a very long time on the gram. She's incredible, she's a motivator, she's an inspirator, and she goes by @BabyMommaFit on IG. Please welcome Starr Hawkins. Yes, okay. My second person here is going to be Ms. Gabriela Trujillo, the founder and CEO of Alamar Cosmetics, which if you do not follow them on Instagram, you are missing out. Yes, honey, boss lady through and through. She built her beauty company from the ground up, gaining a huge following in just 6 years, which is not easy to do in a very saturated market. I'm sure I'll be a customer and a fan by the end of tonight. There you go. All right, and the third and final panelist for today is the incredible Deborah de Corral. She is the co-owner and chef of Tigre, one of Miami's finest restaurant establishments, actually on the Michelin Guide to restaurants you must go to in Miami. And I wanna say, the Miami New Times winner for 2022, yes? For like best restaurant?
Yes, for best waterfront restaurant.
Well,
yes,
excuse me.
By the way.
She said best waterfront, honey.
Yes, honey.
Add that part, that's important. Okay, so can I get a round of applause for these incredible women?
Thank you.
I'm so excited. Now, obviously, last year we set the bar very high, so the fact that we've set it even higher this year is just mind-blowing to me. If you could quickly maybe introduce yourselves. I know I gave your names, but a little bit about your backstory.
My name is Starr Hawkins. I'm a fitness trainer in Miami Beach. I have a background in Pilates. I train a lot of women through their pregnancies, after their pregnancies. I do boxing, I do boot camp. I tried out to be a trainer at a gym like 5 times and didn't get it, and I kept trying. And yeah, that's pretty much my story. I'm super resilient. I train a lot of celebrities, athletes, Miami moms and influencers, and that's pretty much me.
And she's incredible at it. Like I said, make sure you follow her on the gram.
Hello, my name is Gabriela Trujillo. I'm a makeup artist first. I started off as a makeup artist when I was really young in Miami. I was only 18, and I kind of worked my way up doing that. I worked at MAC, I worked at Glam Squad, all the makeup artist steps that you must take to become a successful artist. And then eventually in 2018, I started my own beauty brand. It's called Alamar Cosmetics, and it's been an incredible journey so far. We've collaborated with Disney. We've grown very, very quickly on TikTok and Instagram. Well, I say quickly because it's felt quick, but I've been in business for 5 years at this point. So I've just continued to make really amazing quality makeup is my passion, making really, really great quality makeup accessible for everybody at a very affordable price. So that is my passion and what I work on.
Yes. Hold on one second. I am going to ask that if you're not necessarily in the room, and I know that there's still fun stuff happening throughout the building, but if you can hear the sound of our voices right now, please try to keep your talking to a minimum, please, because obviously these very busy ladies took their time out to be with us, and I would like for the folks that are sitting down and ready to engage to be able to do that. So I wanted to say that before you take over, Miss Deborah.
Well, I'm sure I talk in the name, I say it in the name of all of us three. It's a pleasure to be here. So, my name is Deborah. I was born in Argentina, and now I'm Miamian for the past 8 years. Opened a restaurant in the Little River, on the actual Little River. It's Tigre. It's an Argentinian American bistro. This is my first restaurant, not only in Miami, but my first restaurant. It's been quite a trip. We opened during the pandemic. Super happy, a lot of work, a lot of hard work, but very rewarding, and happy to be here, happy to be doing what I'm doing today, and happy to be a woman today.
Yes. I'm going to give you snaps for that, So we're going to jump into our first question, and all of our questions will go for all of you, so I'll ask, then you can answer, but, when you hear fitness, even the cosmetic industry, and then, of course, being a restaurateur, men have traditionally dominated all of these spaces. Yes, even cosmetics, ladies and gentlemen, especially cosmetics, actually, which I just find so ironic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that backstage.
Because you guys are such experts at blush and lipstick, right? I mean, you know exactly what the ladies want. But anyway, it's incredible that the three of you have been able to not only survive, but to thrive in these industries, and obviously that's why you're sitting here on this fabulous El Dorado couch with us tonight. So let's talk a little bit about your experience in your respective fields and how that experience has been anything but a walk in the park. You know what I mean? Like, obviously we all face trials and tribulations, so don't be afraid. You don't have to gloss it over. You don't have to make it seem like it's all been peachy keen, like it's all been, you know, roses and oh my God, I've never stumbled or stuttered or any of those things. We want to hear, you know, the dirty and the gritty and all of that good stuff.
I guess for me, just, you know, being a woman, having tattoos, maybe looking a little bit more aggressive, my body type, you know, I've felt sexualized a lot, maybe not taken so seriously, or, you know, maybe they think like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I think just being a woman trainer, I kind of have that advantage to know exactly what women want, what feels in certain places. They're more targeted towards their inner thighs or their core. Obviously, ladies, we love the glutes, so that's always really catapulted me to know about a woman's body, having a child. A lot of my clients have children, so I'm not gonna be that trainer that's like, not gonna hold your child if you don't have a babysitter. Like, I'm still gonna train you. I have that understanding of a woman, so that's really helped me connect with other women and be like a girl's girl and a woman's trainer. That gives me that level up on the guys, you know? Yeah, I mean, I've definitely not been taken seriously on the way, and they see me and they think something else, or they book me to train and they don't actually want to train, they want to go on a day, and I'm like, I'm actually here to train, So that's why I mostly train women, but I've had some situations where I haven't been taken seriously, and I just have to set it straight. Like, I'm here to work.
That's not always easy, though.
No.
Right? Because there's that fine line, I think, and we may have touched on it last year, where as women, and I don't think that men will ever fully understand this experience, where it's like walking on a tightrope, right? In that you have to be assertive, and you want to let them know exactly where you stand.
You have to look good while doing it.
Yeah, but you can't be offensive, because unfortunately, fellas, this is not a knock on you, but it's Women's History Month. You can sometimes have fragile egos, right? It is what it is. So, you're big, tough guys, but we know how to hurt your feelings. And I say that because when you're in business, you still want to do business with these people, right? So it's, when you get the advance, or it's how do you turn them down gracefully or graciously, so that their ego isn't so bruised that you now lose out on the check? Because at the end of the day, as business people, male or female, it's about the bag, right?
Right. I mean, I probably have lost jobs, because I shut it down, or, you're going there for one thing and they look at you and they're like, really they just like what you look like on Instagram. And I do a lot of booty fitness. So I have, probably gotten those type of first impressions. I definitely think being a tattooed woman too has something to do with it. I know a lot of people don't think that matters, but I mean, having tattoos, it comes off a little bit more aggressive. If I'm in a bikini, I look different than somebody with no tattoos, very thin in a bikini, you know what I mean? So, I've definitely had situations where I've had to kind of not want to lose the job or burn a bridge, but be very stern and I'm here to do a job and that's it. With that also being said, I was one of the first trainers to do workouts on OnlyFans, which is a male-dominant platform, and I had 400 women on that platform doing the workouts. So I was on the wrong platform with all women, which I think is really cool. I have women come up to me and they're like, "You had me on OnlyFans," and I'm like, "I love that." So
for working out too,
for
right?
Working out, not for anything else. So that's a side note, but yeah,
it's incredible. Gabriela, for you? How has it not been a walk in the park in your experience?
I think for me, it's true. Cosmetics, believe it or not, the majority of cosmetic businesses, so think of all the cosmetic businesses in Sephora, the majority are owned by men. And what they'll typically do is take a woman as the face of the brand to make it more digestible to women. Because you're like, oh my God, I'm being represented. There's a woman, which is amazing. But that woman doesn't have as much decision making as you might think. The boardroom is all men. So when you're coming in as a brand that is actually owned by a woman with no financial backing, so there's no bank behind me or investor or anything like that, I'm fully just representing myself when I walk into a room asking for a loan or a partnership, or so then they're like, cool, who can we speak to? And I'm like, oh, it's just me. It's actually just me. So that part is a little bit intimidating, because right away, it is what it is. I don't have that background of being in a boardroom, or I don't come from a big corporate background. I'm a makeup artist. I'm here because I truly love makeup, not because I'm a business person,
Yeah.
So that's already a disadvantage in itself, but I try to always see it as an advantage in the sense that I'm the consumer. So I'm creating makeup for women like me, who is more entitled or able to do that more than me, who actually uses this product, and I'm able to speak to it from a really product focused way. And I think that's where I kind of gain their respect and attention, because I'm really savvy with the actual product and the development of the product. So you kind of have to fight your way. You have to fight your way to prove I do know what I'm talking about. I do know this. I might not know exactly how the financials work, but I'm going to teach myself. And when it comes to the actual product, how it applies, how it works, the ingredients, I'm actually going to teach you. And that is where that has really, come to light. And when you're a woman, and especially when you're doing it from the ground up with none of my dad's money, that doesn't exist, you are pretty much proving yourself day in and day out. You have to be extra good at your job. You have to be extra prepared.
Yeah.
You have to be better than an average man, honestly.
Yeah. You have to be twice as good to get half as far.
Absolutely.
That's what they like to say. And I love that you said you would teach yourself, though. Yeah. I think that that's a great tip to anybody in here. Don't let not knowing something keep you from pursuing a passion, but commit yourself to educating yourself on the things that you don't know or that you don't understand, because you can make yourself a phenomenal business person, right? Like they can't teach themselves how to be a makeup artist or how to have that instinct in the sense of what color is going to hit next or whatever, or in the restaurant business, right? Like
when it comes to knowing your craft, there's a saying in my country, I'm sure all of you or most of you speak Spanish, is dato mata relato. What does that mean? The facts kill the story. You tell a story to yourself about, oh, she doesn't know anything, she's a girl, Dato mata relato. You come with the facts and...
Hold on, wait, say that one more time so I can use it on DJ Laz in the morning. Say it just one more time, what is it?
Dato mata relato.
What?
Dato mata relato. The fact kills your story.
Okay,
man.
yeah, but I gotta be able to say it in Spanish or you won't take me seriously. If anybody knows,
right?
then they know.
Yeah.
And my Spanish can go south very quickly. We were backstage, funny story, and I said, Deborah, how do I say your last name? And she says, do you speak Spanish? And I said, not at all. And she said, say de. And I was like, she said, no, say it for me. And I said, de, and she said, Corral. And I said, there's no, she said, don't even try it. Don't, like, if you can't roll the R's, just don't.
It would be de Corral,
she said,
course.
but she said, just please don't say corral.
No, not coral.
And
Coral is the word.
She said, don't say coral. And I was like, that I wasn't going to do. But okay, so you'll tell me after backstage.
No.
So that I can, the facts kill the story, and I love
Yeah.
that. But so first of all, how long has your restaurant been open?
2 years, roughly, a bit over 2 years, and we opened during pandemic.
Oh, okay.
No. It's the fact of my business being open 2 years and during pandemic has nothing to do with being a female. It could have never been a walk in the park,
Yeah.
Even if I was like a Superman, super known celebrity with everyone rooting for me, it would have been
Craziness.
crazy as it was, as it has been and still is. And yeah, being a female in the kitchen, in a professional kitchen, is tough because it's definitely one of the most male-dominated industries. And the funny thing, the ironic thing is, wasn't that supposed to be our place, right? Isn't that supposed to be our place, the kitchen?
Until
But
it starts to get the shine.
Of course, not in a professional setting, right?
Not when they're handing out Michelin stars and stuff like that, or when
that's for us.
Yeah, when there's accolades that come with it. But the rest of us, your place, right? That's crazy. So what to me, like, give me one situation that you've actually been in where in the back of your mind, you were like, this would not be happening if I was a man.
All the time, and even being a boss and being the executive chef and the owner and everything, especially being the boss and being the owner, when you hire someone to run your kitchen, a head chef, and they come from other restaurants and on, they have more experience than you, and you're a woman, oh man, that's a lot of friction there, Because the thing is, even if most men, even if they try, when they try, because some try, there's a lot of good guys out there, intelligent,
yes.
Smart, supporting. There's a conditioning that I feel it's very hard for men to see us as their peers. We are their sisters, their moms, their daughters, their loves, and they adore us, but it's very hard for them to see us as their peers, as their equals. There's like a thing that, it's a switch that just goes and a curtain that comes down immediately, and it's very hard to surpass that.
And I think in business in general, in life, in business, it's about relationships, right?
Yes.
And so it becomes very hard, and it's something that the older I've gotten and the longer I've been in, and again, I work in entertainment, a heavily male-dominated industry. Let's be honest. Majority of industries are male-dominated because,
sure.
we've really only been allowed to even be involved
We're
for
the eye candy,
the past,
right?
50 years, right? If you think about it.
We're the eye candy
Yeah.
in that industry. I used to be a model, and I'm also a singer and a songwriter, and so I've always been going again's all
She's
those
overqualified.
What?
She's fine. She a cook. She a singer,
You know what I'm
songwriter.
saying?
No,
Like,
just
this
over.
is ridiculous.
That's it.
She's like, that's it. But I said
I
it because
started as a model, so imagine, what that was in the 90s.
Oh.
People. It was like it was like the dark ages, right?
Yeah.
Literally.
They've been making documentaries about it. I'm glad you survived,
Yep.
because many people didn't lately.
I was
Netflix,
lucky,
Hulu,
by the way.
HBO, check them out. But I have been realizing that more, just about the advantages of being a man and having relationships, right? Like, you guys can go golf with each other. You can, grab your wife and then the other owner of a business and their wife, and you can vacation together. As a single female, I'm not getting invited to, some summer Italian vacation with a client and his wife and his family, right?
That's a good point.
That's not going to happen. But there are radio personalities that I work with that are extremely well established, that are men, and they have those relationships with some of, our big, they've developed friendships over the years.
And we know that's where all the deals get made, right?
Of course. And it's,
That's where the
again,
cake gets cut.
And I'm not hating on it, but back to your point, Gabriela, at that moment in time, if I aspire to be at the level that these men are able to attain, I have to find other ways of getting the deal to happen, right? Like, I have to carve my own path, and I have to prove that I'm worth that same investment, even though we didn't spend 3 weeks together in the Mediterranean and stuff, although I would really, really like that. Do you know what I mean? So what I need is more women to start running businesses and industries, so that then it's the guys that don't get to go on the vacations, because we can golf together too. You know what I mean? We can go shopping, we can go to the spa together, we can do a lot of things. But to your point, yes, it becomes compartmentalized because of tradition and respect, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's one of those things where it's like, you start to look at it and you're like, oh my goodness. Or the better part is when you watch a man jack up an opportunity, right? And you're like, oh, I could have done so much better if they would have just given me the chance.
That happens, all the time, regardless of gender.
Yeah.
Like, having said all this, we're not against you guys, okay?
At all. They know
but
from last year if they were here that
seriously,
it's just...
I think that I really feel that that dynamic is slowly shifting.
Sure.
We've been conditioned for so long.
100%.
And so in relationships especially, and business is relationships, especially small businesses, where everything's close and everybody. I go for, having patience and compassion for, for conditioning, because we are all conditioned. And you just have to be patient. Like, you're patient with yourself, you want to change things about yourself, and you give yourself time. You gotta sometimes give them a bit of time,
She just added another thing that I don't have to her list, like patience.
Yes, I know.
She's
patient.
You gotta have it, man.
Let's
You
listen
gotta
what
have
Deborah
it.
can do. She can cook, she can sing, she can write songs, she's patient, she was a model. Okay, like, now I've got a whole hand now, right? I'm still working on the patience thing. Let's talk a little bit about,
It pays.
Of course, they say it's a virtue, it's just not one that I have. I've got a couple others, I think, but, now I think this is a good pivot point. How do you think that men and women can help empower one another? Because again, we're cracking jokes, and it's Women's History Month, so I like to, you are all, what is your name, sir? Eddie, what is your name? Rita. You are Rita's husband for the entire month of March. Like, you know what I mean? If I were to run into you in the hall, I'd be like, oh, it's Rita's husband. It's not, Eddie, that's not Eddie's wife, Rita. You're Rita's husband for the whole month of March. Just understand that. You know what I mean? Like, are we okay with that? All right. So that's just the space that we're coming from. That's all I'm saying. But yes, we need each other. That's the one thing that we have realized, right? I hope after millennia that we obviously need each other. So how can men and women help empower one another?
What a good question. Like, quiet. Everything went quiet. I would say, sound like a counselor, but listening is first thing. Like, really listening, making the effort.
Yeah.
Everybody, not just, men, not just women, listening.
I think women, we just have to collaborate more. Don't gatekeep, tell all the secrets, work with each other. If guys go on golf trips, we should be going on, I don't know, tennis trips or shopping, spa day. We should be going on spa days and talking business. I think with women, even with me, I've seen, it's very hard for me to have conversations about money, and I don't think men really struggle with that conversation. I don't know if it's it might not be a woman
They invented
thing.
money. How would they struggle with conversations?
We just got access to money 50 years ago.
That's our
We
whole
could
life.
run home 60 years ago.
Maybe we need to have those conversations and guys can be advocates too. Give us the deals, give us the brand deals, more Disney deals.
Yeah, be excited for us. And honestly, something really interesting, I'm so grateful that I got that deal with Disney, but the one who offered it to me was a woman. The VP at the time of that department in Disney was a woman. Her name is Jan Coleman. I will be grateful to her for the rest of my life.
Shout out to Jan.
Shout out to Jan. And she reached out to me personally and was like, I'm a fan of your brand. I've been following it. And my studio has this movie coming out, which has a Latina lead. I think your brand should make the makeup. Should I set it up with my team? And I was like, there's no way this lady works at Disney. Like, there's no way that she's reaching out to me and she works at Disney. And if it wasn't for her who took an interest in me, I probably wouldn't have gotten that opportunity. You know, they would have just given it to who they always go to, which is like they always do collabs with MAC and ColourPop because they're the big ticket, you know, the money producers, which is fine. But she's the one that had the idea of like, let's do this with a Latin-owned, woman-owned brand. That would be more impactful. So it's women getting to those rooms that mention us. If not, we don't stand a chance.
Yeah.
So
All my opportunities, I think, have been through women mostly. Here, even getting booked for this, it was through a woman. You know, I'm always getting jobs and gigs.
Well, it's funny. So I've literally been a fan of BabyMommaFit. Like, I ran into her at a screening a few weeks back, and literally I was like geeked out to the team from the movie house. I was like, BabyMommaFit is here, and it was the Magic Mike screening, and they wanted to give away.
She made me dance on stage.
I made her
and lose, and I lost to a woman because she took her shirt off.
The best part was I knew she would come down and twerk. I wanted to make them work for these Magic Mike experience tickets, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna need somebody to come down here and get the party started. And I was like, BabyMommaFit is here. I know she'll do it. She just has this incredible energy. And then like 77-year-old Janice walked in.
She took her sweater off
and like blew everybody out of the water. It was wild. So
funny.
I was like, take notes, BabyMommaFit. I'm gonna follow Janice now too on Instagram. No, but the reason why I started following Starr was because another woman that I followed, Jules, for years, who's in the music industry, always showed her so much love, right? And I was like, okay, bet. And the world is so big, but it's become so small via social media. Like even tonight at this event, if you were walking around and taking pictures or videos of any of the incredible vendors that we had out here, whether it was the jewelry or the body products or, you know, the foods that we had, please share and tag that because again, they were all women-owned businesses, and that coming from another woman, when you're vouching for another woman, not only are you helping a business, but you have no idea the message that you're sending out. Like to your point is that you're co-signing another female, and then that person that sees that will then do it for somebody else.
You're helping the change.
Yes.
Basically.
You're being the change that you want to see, right?
Yeah, literally. And having, started in the 90s as a female, very young female, I'm super hopeful because I see that we've gotten smarter, we've gotten more generous with each other, we really support each other. And other times, only like 20, maybe 30 years ago, we were super competitive. We were competing for men, for jobs, for everything.
Yep.
It was the animal freaking kingdom. There was no
Slim
sisterhood.
Pickens. It was Slim Pickens.
There was no sisterhood like today, like a real sisterhood.
Well, I have a 13-year-old daughter, and I'm gonna tell you, it starts in middle school. It starts in middle school. I don't know if we're programmed or wired that way, but we're getting mean with girls.
Mean girls, no?
It's mean with girls at a young age, and just like, I guess like even like putting it out into our social medias or putting it out.
You're competing for resources. It's a biological thing, yeah. But then you have to. But
we can change that. I mean, you can put out, it's cool to have girlfriends. It's cool to love other girls. It's cool to support your friends. It's
the
cool.
Coolest thing.
It's cool to be a girl's girl. You know what I mean?
But I think you also have to realize when you're not doing it, right? And I think a lot of times, like, I don't know, has anybody ever been I hate to go back to the gram, but I just think we live in this social media world now. But I've had to check myself with it as a woman, scrolling, right? And I'll see something wild, and I can go to that judgy place. Ladies, who in here can be a little judgy? Can we be a little judgy sometimes? It's okay, we're honest, this is a safe space.
A little?
We can be a little judgy, right? And then I have to check myself. And I have to go, you know what? That's not about her, that's about you. You wish you had the confidence to do that, or maybe to wear that, or you know what I'm saying? Or just that level of self-love that you have to have sometimes, right? To be able to just share yourself that vulnerably with a bunch of strangers. So you have to check yourself, ladies, when you find yourself judging other women in particular. that's something that you need to deal with inside. And like I said, it's baby steps, but I definitely am guilty of it. And I think, you know, again, the more you're self-aware and you realize it, you're like, okay, bet. Like, let's work on this. And then it's like, then I hit the heart button. And I'm like, I like that. And you leave a positive comment and you're like, that's dope. And you keep it moving. And as you do that, you end up feeling better. But to your point, it's getting better. But I think we still have a long way to go because we still feel like if there's one woman in the room, that's enough. And it's not.
The thing is, we're realizing it. There's awareness, and that's the first step.
And we live in this generation now. I'm so fortunate to be from this time. Like, I love being from this time. I have no complaints. I'm happy to be here because I feel like with social media, with just the advancements we've made consciously as a human race, we are so much more understanding and compassionate. And like, I feel for my women in the 60s. There was not a single female CEO, like none. So for you to get to that place, it kind of was like crawling over each other because the chances of you getting there was like 1 in 500. So I understand that like it's survival of the fittest. It's an instinct of survival that we're so fortunate that, you know, we don't have to be to that extent because we're all gonna eat at the end of the day. We're gonna be okay. There's room for all of us to achieve something, you know? But it wasn't always like that for us. Like, it's taken us, it seems like, oh, we've been equal for a long time, but that's really not the case.
No. We're still not, though.
Yeah, but we weren't even able to vote.
Facts until
Literally
1920.
less than like 80, 100 years ago.
1920 was when women got the right to vote in this country.
We weren't able to own property.
And if we don't vote, people, they're going to take it away from us. So just make sure you go out there and vote.
Less than 80 years ago, women didn't have access to a bank account. So it's like...
Sorry, less than how long?
Like 80 years ago.
Wow.
You couldn't have, a bank would not co-sign a woman having a bank account.
Exactly.
You're always a co-signer to everything.
And you couldn't buy a house without a co-signer.
Your husband or your father had to own everything for you. So when that ends and then we finally start climbing, it's like, girl, you better beat me there because I'm on my way. And now it's like, I feel so fortunate to be born in this time where there's so much room, there's so much space. Look at all these different avenues that we've been able to find: cosmetics, fitness, restaurateur, entertainment. Like, I'm so fortunate for that. Like, I got to see my mom. She's an entrepreneur as well. She's an esthetician. She opened her own salon. Like,
that's
that would
incredible.
not have been possible even 50 years ago. So I'm just really, I'm fortunate. So even though there is still so much adversity, like, shout out to the long way that we have come, thank God.
Yes.
But there's still a long way to go.
Yes.
Yes. And representation is so important. So as all of you sit here and do what you do, it's so crucial to that next generation being empowered, because there's somebody looking at your Instagram account, Starr, or at you, Gabby, or at Tigre, and going, if she could do it, I can do it, and I can do it, and take it even farther. So that's absolutely, absolutely incredible. I have to ask you though, like, as we were having the conversation about judgment and we're talking about empowering each other, and you really do exist in a social media, but like, you really have just grown this massive platform there. Who do you find, like, as far as the comments go and things like that, like, we're in a space where we're talking a lot about mental health now, especially when it comes to young women. Obviously, we know men need to prioritize their mental health as well. I have the three of you here. Like, what do you think about the space that you're in and how it impacts young girls, women? How do you utilize what you do to be a positive influence and not the other way?
It's a hard one. I'm still learning that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did a series on Snapchat. It was called Miami Muscle. And their episodes usually would get like 400,000 views, and mine got 600,000 because I was like cracking jokes and I'm so crazy. And I told like this love story during COVID. And I went one day and I was like, let me go look at the comments on YouTube. And that was, I went into like this dark hole of like negative comments.
Yeah.
And then I found on TikTok, I blew up a couple times on TikTok too, and people are just ruthless on TikTok. And they'll argue with each other about the comment that they said about you. And I mean, it's like hundreds. And if I sit there and look, I can get into like a dark place.
Yeah.
And I'm a 35-year-old woman. So I really fear for my daughter. But I think I try to be an example and just balance. Like, I'm on social media, but I'm also in the moment. And just like doing esteemable things so I have esteem for myself. You know, I'm constantly helping people. I'm in the community. I'm saying yes to everything. So like, yeah, for the, 5 bad comments, I get 100, I get so much love. I get so much love. Even here, I've got like my friends here. I see them right now. I'm like, my people showed up. Like, but
they're deep. I love it.
Right. And then I can get one comment that's like, you look like a horse. And I'm like, do I need to do my nose? Like, why do I look like, or I get like, and it's so dumb. It's hurt people, and you have to understand that. So when you do see that stuff, it's usually coming from a negative place, whether it's a woman or a man.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just try to raise my daughter to be better, but it's a new time. I mean, this social media shit is, excuse my French, but it is crazy. I mean, I can't imagine how the effects, I'm gonna just have to see it play out for her,
Yeah.
So.
No, and it's frightening sometimes. And they can, like I said, they can do it in the restaurant business. They can do it in a review for you. Like, it's just when it's personal, it's personal.
Just take it so lightly, Just go in there and completely destroy your business or your image or your appearance or even like hurtful, super personal comments from people who don't know you or never been to your business it's just crazy.
It is, and there's something where it says it takes 10 positive interactions to basically negate one negative interaction. So when you multiply that by 200,000 followers on your IG alone, or by 600, whatever you have, because I know it's insane. I mean, it can be really difficult. And I know some people are like, oh, just don't read the comments, right? And it's like,
yeah, but it's like
that's like saying,
it's
don't
like a
read
meter.
the highway sign, or
But
like,
also,
don't look at the stoplight.
Exactly,
Like,
and also for social media, for us, is part of our business. So we have to read the comments because it's also a meter. It's a metric.
Yeah, but don't read them.
But just don't take it personally.
Don't take it personally.
Just don't take it personally, because it's just a thing. It's just numbers. It's just people who just pass by.
But I also think it's important that you own it. So I love that you're here and you're saying that, because when they repost this and somebody's watching it, it's okay to acknowledge that it messes with you, but that it's like, okay, but then you have this.
To be great, you have to put yourself out there. Like I want this life. You want a good business.
Of course.
I want to be the best trainer. I want people to find my stuff and be inspired. So when you open yourself up for that, you're opening yourself up for criticism. It's just like about what I guess you put out, your energy.
Criticism and crazies too.
No. But then you see this, right?
Yeah.
And it's just important to have that place that you can go back to and remind yourself, like, I'm loved, I'm successful, I'm crushing it, all of these things. And if they're not hating on you, you're not doing something right? Like that's the lesson that you have to tell yourself.
Yes.
If they're not leaving, if you're not getting one, I hate to say one negative comment, you ain't doing something right. You gotta make somebody mad. Somebody's gotta be in their feelings.
You want a reaction, always
Any
a
reaction is engagement. It makes your posts do better.
No, yeah.
You gotta look at it like that, and you really can't let the criticism or the praise get to you, because
There you go.
can't let yourself get too big-headed and think like, oh my God, I really am like that bitch. You can't. You gotta be humble, and you have to remember, anybody that's leaving you something really mean and nasty is not doing well in life.
Yeah.
No one happy with a good job and like happy kids is leaving horrific comments.
Facts.
So you just gotta pray for them and keep it moving.
That's facts.
Amen, sister.
Yeah.
No, and you guys kind of just rolled into the next question, which was like advice or tips for young women entering the workforce. Obviously, you've just kind of given out a couple of good ones. Is there anything else that really comes to the top of your mind?
Be prepared. Get really, 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 really prepared, because like she said, like you said, sorry, Asia said, you always have to be a tad better or way better than the, not mediocre, but the medium man in that position. Always. It's a fact. And you just have to deal with it and prepare yourself for it and prepare extra. And the silver lining to that is that you'll be freaking awesome at what you do, because you will have made the effort, the extra effort. So that pushes you. You got to see it that way. Otherwise, you'll just get deflated and you'll quit. Never quit. Never quit. Just try harder.
Call in your resources. The one good thing about social media is there's so many resources out there. There's literally a TikTok for everything, a YouTube video for everything. Like, I need to go on YouTube and learn how to do my taxes tomorrow. Like, there's something, you can find something for whatever field you're going into. And I've always been like really good about hitting up the people in the industry that I needed help with, and always helping other people, because I want that same stuff back. So call in your resources. If you're trying to go into something, maybe find someone that's in that field and pick their brain, and don't be afraid to ask questions, and like she said, don't stop. If it's your passion, keep doing it, because I think like people don't realize, but consistency, even with your body, it's all about consistency. If you work out 5 times a week, you're gonna see results. If you work out twice a week, it's gonna take a little longer. You work out once a week, it's gonna take even longer than that, but you're gonna get there eventually, you know? One day you'll get there, so you just gotta keep going. Consistency always pays off, it always does.
So you mean I can't eat all the incredible cookies that they
Yo,
just
I
gave
ate all of
me?
it.
Like-
I ate all of it. I ate the cheese. I'm up here rumbling, but it was worth it.
Yeah, I'm the person that ate all those cookies and is like, where's my 6-pack? I don't understand what happened.
I was waiting for the jerk tacos. Y'all ate all those tacos up there.
They were yummy. Sorry, girls. Party started at 6. Gabby, any advice that you have for young women entering the workforce or just getting ready to go out there and do their thing?
Yeah, I would say try to find like a village, like your own pod. Like I'm very fortunate that I have like a stable like five people that I can always go to that are a little bit more like advanced in business than I am. Like I always have my mom, I always have my friend Kat that has a nail polish brand, and then my friend Sharon that has a hair brand, and like I can always go to like these specific people, and just having like someone that you could always rely on is super important. Just to ask a simple, like there's so many things I don't know, like hey, I got this opportunity to do this really cool deal, but I don't have money, like who do I talk to about that? And then they're like, okay, talk to this person, say that I sent you, you know, put this together. Like so many things that I have learned from just asking, that if I was like prideful and I was like, oh, I don't want to ask because I don't want them to know that I don't already know that, that's not going to work. If you're going to be prideful and you want to already seem like you know everything, you're never, you know, you have to be willing to be like, hey, I don't know how to do this. Like, can you help me? And people are, you know, a lot of the time people are happy to help. And if you're on the other side of that spectrum, don't be mean, help people. Like don't, if you think that by you keeping information, you are gonna hurt that person, you're really only hurting yourself, because that type of energy will come right back to you, and you have to always be giving and generous with your information. Information is everything. Like information is everything, and that's how they've kept us out for so long, because we didn't know, we weren't there.
And it's not yours. It's not anyone's in particular. Information is, it's an asset to all of us.
You can literally get the ingredients, and then, you know, at the end of the day.
Something completely different.
I'm never gonna be you.
Won't be
I
the
could
same.
try to be you, and I still would not have your accent or your
will
voice.
Be another expression.
Different sauce, right? Same ingredients, different sauce.
You just have to know that.
Thing,
But I also love, I think that everything that you just said also comes back to don't be afraid of failing. Right? Like men don't care if they fail. Like, and I don't mean that they don't care, but it doesn't keep them usually from trying again, right? And they will convince somebody else to give them money to do it all over. Like you literally just blew through $50 million, and they will walk into a bank the next day and be like, hey, so I just fell flat on my face, but I really think you should give me another $50 million because I've got a great idea. And guess what? They'll walk out with $50 million. Like, and women, we're out here, we go through every left, every right. Like, we think of all the things that could go wrong, and we let the things that could go wrong, I think sometimes keep us from ever even getting started. We let the fear of it not working out keep us from ever even jumping. And that's so sad, because I'm sure there's so many dreams and so many incredible businesses that never got off the ground because somebody was afraid that they would fail. And
or to be made uncomfortable, you know, like for example, with mansplaining, super annoying, but it's their problem, you know, you just have to laugh it off and continue.
Oh my God, that is so true.
You can't just like avoid situations and conversations because you're gonna get mansplained.
There's so many times
just
where
laugh
I've
about
had to
it.
like
internally,
sit through it.
don't offend them ever.
That goes back to that other one. Fellas, please stop mansplaining if you can. Please. You know what I mean? Like,
you know
that goes back to how men can help us too. Like, we understand how to turn the computer on now, guys. I promise. The button, like we got it. Like we can also drive. I know a lot of you don't believe that, but we can. You actually get in more car accidents than we do, but whatever. Sorry, I digress. Listen, that was fantastic. Listen, it's South Florida. We all get in accidents, let's be honest. Do you guys have any questions out there in the audience for these incredible panelists? I know we have some friends here. We like to open it up at the end of the Q&A. Is there anybody? Don't be shy. You've just heard this beautiful, don't be afraid of being awkward. No bad questions, no silly questions.
Nothing's more awkward than being up here, so.
Fact.
Just so you know.
No, oh, there it is. Nope. Look at this, that's why I wear sneakers.
So ladies, what was the biggest obstacle that each of you has had to overcome in this journey that you've had?
Good question. No pressure. Oh, it's comfortable out here.
I can go first. I would say it's the same obstacle over and over and over again, and it's hitting walls. Like, oh my God, this got stuck in a port. What am I supposed to do now? Like, I don't have any money to pay, you know, to get this out of here. Like, what do I do? Move mountains, call everybody you know, figure it out, cry, lose sleep, figure it out. Oh my God, thank God that figured that out. Go to sleep, next day, another thing, you know? So it's the constant, like, hitting a wall and hitting a problem and feeling like this is it. It's done. I'm gonna have to file for bankruptcy. And then you figure it out. And you're like, oh my God, like, I figured it out. That's amazing. Thank God for this. I can't, and like, you know, it is crazy. Like, my mom always tries to calm me down and she's like, there's always a solution. The one thing that a problem and a solution have in common is that they will always come together. And just trying to wait like and be patient. And like, when something's out of your control, it's out of your control, you know? So for me, it's like the constant, when you own a business, it's literally like all the time. Like,
putting
it's all
out the
time.
fires.
It's putting out fires all the time. But, you know, if you have a good system in place, you have a good team, you make good product that people keep coming back and getting, like, you find your way out, you dig your way out every time, and it's worth it. Every time you get stronger, you get smarter, and you're able to figure it out even faster the next time. So yeah, it's just constantly putting out the fires is the hardest part, but it's still worth it.
To me, before even getting to the part of opening the business and putting out fires, is not being taken seriously, you know, in your whatever industry, you know. So you start talking to your peers and asking for your supposed peers, and they don't see us as peers, right? And asking for, you know, advice, and they're like, oh, you cute little thing. So you're gonna open a restaurant, you know? That's so cute. So that is something, you know. That's,
yeah, entrepreneurship, really cute.
Yeah,
first word that comes to mind,
super
right?
Super cute. Yeah, comfortable, you know, easy as pie. Yeah. So to me, at least in my personal journey, that's been, you know, the first obstacle before getting to, you know, actually building your business. Then it's putting out fires, nonstop.
For me, I would definitely just say I'm my worst obstacle sometimes, you know? I have this negative self-talk. Sometimes it goes in my head, this storyline, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, and just really like shutting that off and just doing it and like not being afraid to fail and stuff has really helped me. Yeah, because I mean, you know, being a woman is hard sometimes. You know, we got our our cycles and you know, mental health, and I was a single mom for a really long time, and I could get in my own way sometimes. So I could be my worst enemy sometimes.
You know, as Starr is talking, and even of course Deborah and Gabby, I'm like, why do people think it's so easy for women? Right? Like, people think,
do they though?
Yes.
Be going through it by myself.
Like, wow. No, I think that sometimes it happens and they're like, oh, especially if you look a particular way, or they just think that people just hand you things, or, oh, you're a girl, anybody, just call somebody to come help you if it's fixing your car, you know what I mean? Like, there's always this theory, like that damsel in distress kind of like mirage, and it's then you're hearing powerful, incredible, strong women tell you, like, absolutely not. But I think that that's why they call it cute, right? Like, oh, you're gonna open a business, because they're probably assuming, again, somebody's bankrolling you, right?
Yeah, like it's a
and
hobby
that you
or
have all
something.
these people there just to kind of put all the pieces together, and you're just gonna be there for the opening, like, welcome to my restaurant. And really, she's in there with the sweating and the pans and the burns and the everything else, and you 24 hours a day calling China like, yo, how do I get my stuff out of your friggin' country already? Like, I'm over it. To like, forget the pandemic. We need to just make things in America. That way I don't have to deal with this, you know? And again, for you, it's this incredible industry that you're in. But on the flip side of it, you said it when we first started, they look at you and they assume you don't know, and you are an expert in like, we have the resources and we have the education and the tools. And people just like to look at us and automatically kind of shortchange, or I think undermine, right? Does that make sense? I don't know. So it just, guys, we have it difficult. Okay? We're not all like out here like Giselle Bunchkin. And even I know she did a lot, but I'm just saying, like, with billionaires just ready to drop everything and wipe us up, Mr. Sofer. Sorry. I'm getting into my whole like radio thing. Are there any other questions out there? Oh, look at what you started, ma'am. You and that beautiful hair. Hey, okay, hold on. I saw my friend here, and then, oh no. I'm afraid of feedback. Come around. We have lots of seats. come sit right here. I'll give you a microphone.
Hi, my name is Giselle. Thank you, ladies, for your insights. My question is specifically for Gabby. I've been following your brand from the very beginning when you were in BoxyCharm. I really admire how you keep your culture front and center, and I'm curious to see, as you continue to grow, how will you continue making that like your priority, considering how many other cultures are out there? How are you going to make yours stand out but also be inclusive? Does that make sense?
Thank you. That's an amazing question. Thank you so much, by the way. I appreciate it. That's a really good question, and it has been something I've gone back and forth with a lot through the years, because if you're not familiar with my brand Alamar Cosmetics, it's very Latina centric. Like, a lot of my marketing is marketed towards Latinas. The names of my products are like, you know, Candela, Fuego, like very, you know, inspired by my Cuban culture, and it's meant to appeal to Latinas from all countries, because it had never really been done before. Like, all makeup in stores was very Eurocentric. It was all made for, like, you know, ladies with white skin tones, and, you know, very European. Makeup really comes from like L'Oreal, Estee Lauder. It was very like French for a long time. So I was like, it would be so impactful for my community to see products that feature names and things that resonate with us, that remind us of the people who inspire us to arreglarnos, right? Like our grandmas, our tias, right? So that was my idea for my brand. I knew from the beginning that this was gonna be a challenge, because of course, not everybody speaks Spanish. Not everybody is gonna resonate with like a Latina focused brand. And then Bad Bunny came out. And somehow this man who only speaks Spanish and all his music is in Spanish is the #1 artist in the world. So when I pitch my brand and I have meetings with retailers, et cetera, who tell me, oh, we're just a little bit concerned because, you know, only 17% of the demographic is Latino, and out of that 17%, only 11 are female, or whatever the numbers are. And I'm like, okay, that's true, but Latino-ness is for everybody to enjoy. Like, our products are for everybody to enjoy. It just has a story. It's telling a story of a specific group that has a huge buying power in this country. So I just fight for us all the time. I'm never gonna change that part of my brand, even if it stays smaller than like a more rounded brand, for example. I rather that be the case, but never abandon like the people who got me to this point, which are Latinas. So that's the vibe.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And we're all gonna go buy Alamar Cosmetics when we leave here. Bad
Thank you
Bunny,
so
baby. Okay, somebody else is next. Who had a question?
Hello, I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you so much for coming out here and speaking to all of us. And I think that it's very clear that when we hear you all, we can see how passionate you are about the industries that you've entered in and empowering women. And for so many young women, older women, it's very hard to find their passion in a society that is very biased against us pursuing anything out of generally traditional, gender roles. And how would you give advice to the women that are in the audience and just in general about how we can find our passions the way that you did?
That's a tough one. Because knowing your passion sometimes takes time. You gotta try different things before you know what your real passion is. Sometimes no, it's different for everybody. Sometimes you find it immediately. Some people know exactly what they want to study, what they want to be, and they start in high school and then in college, and bam, they have an awesome career. Some people try many different things like I did before finding my ultimate passion, which is cooking and running a restaurant. I don't know why I like running a restaurant. It's torture, but I love it. It's my passion, And it took me over 40 years to find that out, So it's very unique to every individual. I don't think it's, it's a female or an I don't think it's a gender or an age thing. It's very unique to you. But once you find it, you go for it. You go at it, and you don't care about what anybody else says about it.
If it's something that you love and you can make it a job, definitely go for it.
For sure. It needs to be sustainable.
Okay. Yeah. It's
and
something.
sometimes the passion, the passion isn't necessarily like the trade itself, right? Like, so maybe you won't find a passion for, like, let's say makeup, or you won't find a passion for fitness, but maybe your passion is, my passion is I want to spend more time with my kids, or my passion is I want time freedom. So then it's finding something that allows you to live that passion. So like something you could do online, like an online job, or like, I don't know, so many skills you could pick up online. Like, okay, I want to be an esthetician because I know that if I do X amount of facials a week, that gives me enough money to then have time with my kids. So the
That's a really
passion,
great point. So the passion doesn't have to be the job necessarily.
The passion doesn't have to be the trade.
Yeah.
Your passion could be traveling, and then you just have to find a way to make your money.
Find a
so
job
that
where
you
you're
can
traveling.
Live that passion, you know?
You're like a
Yeah, and I
travel,
would say- and
travel
honestly,
nurse or something, you know?
Yeah, and be patient. Like, there's so much time, and like I live for a rebrand. Like I tell my friends now in our 30s, I'm like, girl, rebrand. Like you don't like this anymore, rebrand, do something different. Like move back in with your parents, start again. Like there's no shame in that. That's actually fun and exciting. Like the opportunity of starting something again is really, really fun. Like do something different. Like literally, like who cares? So many people are like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing because
But that's it. You don't even, that I think is the biggest point. Right? Don't let anybody talk you out of or try to make you feel like your dream or your passion is silly or not possible, which I think is something that, you know, again, when you said I'm grateful to be here now, there's generations that came before you where we're still trying to talk ourselves out of some of that limiting behavior and that limiting mindset, and we still have people that will laugh or who will give you all the reasons why you shouldn't try to pursue something different or new, right? And some of them are our girlfriends. Some of them are our family members. Some of them are the people that are closest to us. And a lot of times that comes from their own place of fear. It comes from their own, you know, lack of belief in themselves or something that was passed down to them from, you know, previous generations who, again, were limited. So it's one of those things where, like Starr said, I think it's getting into your own beliefs, like, and it's checking yourself when you go to that negative place and just knowing that you really and truthfully are limitless. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. The information's out there, the recipe is out there. You're just going to make it your own sauce and don't listen to anybody else. And don't be afraid to try something and then go, yeah, no, this is not my passion. And then try something else and go, yeah, no, that either. Like I bought a bunch of beads off of Amazon. I thought I was going to make bracelets. When I lost my job, I was like, I'm gonna make bracelets and sell them on Etsy. Yeah, no, they're all still sitting in a box. And I'm back on the radio, so there went that dream, you know what I mean? Strengths and weaknesses, but you can't be afraid to try something, and now I try to convince my friends to wear them. They're not really here for it. They're not really here for it, which is why these other incredible women are selling their jewelry. Listen, this has been such an amazing panel. Can we get a round of applause for these fabulous women? Again, please try Tigre in Little River. My goodness, I'm so mad that I have never been. I saw it on Instagram and I was like, what have I been waiting for? Of course, Alamar Cosmetics, you can go onto their Instagram. I saw some incredible like influencer reviewed your products. Like it was wild and she was hilarious and she convinced me to buy the liquid blush. Like, yeah, not that I wouldn't have supported you anyway after especially talking to you, but I was like, hey, all right. And of course, at BabyMommaFit, everybody, I'm telling you, buns are in, honey, and we live in South Florida and she will get yours right. You won't be able to walk. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, just be prepared. Like, I don't know where you get your energy from. It's a little disconcerting. It's like,
lots of caffeine.
God, I'm like tapped out after I have to work up to like a full workout. But again, thank you all for being here. Please, if you took photos tonight, hashtag Ella Dorado, hashtag support Ella, tag at Ella Dorado. All of these incredible women are, like I said, on social media. And I would be remiss without showing love to the amazing vendors that were here. I think I purchased something from absolutely all of you. This is why I don't work in retail, because I would have $0 left. But I just want to shout them out if I can find my little thing, because there's a lot of you that were here. But a big shout out, of course, to Asia Butler, the owner of Abba Jewels. Oh my goodness, incredible stuff. We had Shelia Sanchez and Viviana Martel who were here. They were the owners of Pretty Little Gems. Helen Kim, who was the owner of, I want to say, is it Uri? Is she here? Uri Bake Shop. There wasn't a thing left. Did you see?
The carrot cake.
Literally
carrot cake was good.
Cleaned out. Paula Gill, owner of Little Paws. I think we were able to walk away with some cute little bandanas for our pups. Erica, of course, her partner in that. And then Janine Escobar, Buena Vista Candle Company. She's amazing, amazing, amazing. She started off in her family's home that's been in Buena Vista for over 50 years. And they're holding on to it to keep the tradition, which I think is incredible, especially considering real estate prices right now. I'm just saying, you know what I'm talking about? And she's also got her own, I want to say, candle workshop or studio in Little Haiti, which I heard they're calling Magic City now. Like, what is that? It's like, what are they gonna try to change the name of Little Havana? Could you imagine? We'll all meet at Versailles if they try to do that, because that ain't never gonna happen, honey. Gentrify this. And then also we have Janice Lapire. She was the owner of Delicatessen by Janice. Incredible, and I don't want to miss anybody. Hold on. And I have Devin Nectar, Jade Higgins, and Valerie B. Strong. That was Devin Nectar. I don't know if they're here. I missed them, and I don't know how I did that. But anyway, a round of applause for all of our incredible vendors. Angie and her amazing team from El Dorado, please. In fact, can we just stand up really quickly and give a round of applause for the entire El Dorado family, the team, for giving us this space and allowing us to support and celebrate iconic and incredible women. Obviously, 1 month a year is not enough, but we will take what we can get and we will do the most with it, because that is what women do, right? And 1 month is really all we need, because we do it better than everybody else, so whatever. And please tag us, okay? Again, at hashtag Ella Dorado, hashtag support Ella, wait, huh, what? Lake Coco, my God, and she's got a whole stage over here. So let's make our way to the stage. That was my fault. Soaps by Ja. I mentioned them and then we didn't say them. Soaps by Ja, my God. Soaps by Ja, are they still here? Ja, where is she? Okay, well, listen to me. My credit card can tell you that I supported Soaps by Ja, all right? So that's really, at the end of the day, that's how we support. Spend your money, honey. All right, go ahead. We'll head over. We'll check out La Coco
Thank you so much.
to wrap the night. Thank you all so much for everything. Sorry. We're doing...